would like that.
Yes, Chef.
With Ryan.
You can smell it from where you're listening from, I'm sure. It's the time of the week where we bring in Chef Ryan, our global chef, to talk all about Korean seasonal ingredients, some dishes as well. And this week, it's getting colder, definitely, the weather. And we're talking about cockles or gomak, which are in season from November until March. Ryan has brought some in, different versions, I see. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning. Are you saying cockles because that's the only name that you're familiar with, or are you saying it because the actual name you know sounds a little bit scary to folks?
No, because it's on the script. I have no idea what else we call this.
Okay.
What is the other scary name?
They're blood cockles.
Really?
Yes, they're called
What?
blood. In English, they're called blood cockles.
Blood cock. Why?
Because unlike most clams, like the regular cockles, they have hemoglobin.
Okay.
Like vertebrates,
in your
like
blood,
we do. So they have a red blood. Other clams have clear blood.
Really?
And the difference is apparently because these are in mud, and others are often in sand.
Okay.
And it's harder for them to breathe, so they need to be able to circulate oxygen easier. And hemoglobin apparently really helps with that.
Yeah, and from my biological sciences degree days, that's where the oxygen attaches, and that's why your blood goes red.
So you do know.
But that's weird, like evolutionarily speaking, why other clams don't have that and just this has hemoglobin. That's interesting. Blood cockles really doesn't sound appetizing,
It's
does
so
it?
they can breathe, but they're so good, and they're totally seasonal. You don't want to eat these in warmer weather.
Oh, really?
You really want to have, because of the hemoglobin. Actually,
I see.
There's a slight chance of botulism, which is really dangerous.
No.
But very, very slight chance. Trust me. And if you cook them properly, don't worry about it.
Okay. And
don't want to scare people off.
In warmer weather, that's the case. Yeah,
Right.
because fish, in general, the colder the water is, the more oxygen there is in it as well, they say.
That being said, when I lived in Mexico,
Yeah.
man, I lived right on the coast in Jalisco. It's so beautiful. And and the blood clams, which are the cousins of these, they look just like this, except they're bigger. And they'll get even like this big, like 13 centimeters, right?
Yeah.
And I used to walk down from my place, next to the seaside, and these great big blood clams, a guy kind of like with a pojangmancha, like a street food vendor, would just pop these open live.
Yeah.
Raw live, and put them into a great big like Sunday shake kind of glass, a clear glass with cilantro and tomato, like a pico de gallo, onion and squeezed lime all over it, and give you a really long kind of like cocktail spoon, and you just sit there and eat all of these live and raw.
Really?
Even in warmer months. It was never really that cold there.
Wow.
And I'm alive, I'm fine.
And they were good like that way as well.
So good. I've done it here too, but I wait until it's cold out.
Okay, so in Korea, these cockles, or the blood cockles, we should say their full name, the gomak, I don't know, do they eat them raw here? I've never seen it, I think.
I've not seen other folks eat them raw, but I have done it.
And they taste similar? Quite good?
They because I guess of the hemoglobin or the different style clam, they are richer in iron.
Yeah.
Which I just love it. Yeah, you want to try one? You ready?
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's kick things off with trying. So this dish that we're going to try first, that's just plain cockles, blood cockles that have been boiled, or?
Yes. Well, when you're doing this, you really want to scrub them well because they do grow in mud. But a nice thing about these is they don't have the sand.
Oh, really?
So often, even if you put your clams in water in a dark space with some flour in there, or there's other tricks to get them to spit out the sand, you'll still have some. You'll get surprised. Ooh. But these, you'll never find that. So
how come? Because they're in the mud.
They're in the mud,
and there's no sand in there anyway.
So you scrub them off really well, and then you can blanch them. So you drop them in boiling water. I mean, you could steam them or do like the French style with the butter and the parsley. You could do it that way too. It'd be awesome. But these were done Korean style, so into boiling water.
Yeah.
And as soon as they start to open, maybe 30 seconds after that, and then pull them out immediately.
And that's it.
That's it.
They haven't been seasoned at all. They've got nice saltiness to them.
We added a little bit of salt into the water.
Yeah.
But they're really al natural.
They're delicious, Ryan, seriously.
And plump, And,
yeah, really plump. Like, it must be because they're in season right now. I went to, I can't remember the island. Where was it? No, it wasn't. Oh, yes, it was an island. Amyeondo, which is about 2.5 hours from Seoul in the summertime. And you have like this kind of little mini rake, and you rake it through the mud, and you catch these. I was terrible. I caught one in like 3 hours, but the old couple next to me, loads of these.
In Anmyeondo, you got these?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I've not seen them in Anmyeondo. I thought they were further south, but that's awesome.
But maybe there weren't many left because the old couple got them all. Oh, but these are really delicious. Look how plump they are inside the shells. Like, they're almost too big for their little shells. That's amazing.
It's so good, right?
What is the difference then between a blood cockle and, like you say, the bigger versions, the clam?
The pichoge, really just size.
Really?
Yeah.
The taste is similar, right?
Very, very similar. Now, there is a really special kind of komak that I wanted to bring today, but I couldn't find it anywhere. They're not around.
What is the special
All my
kind?
vendors, they said that they're too expensive to deal with in the market.
Wow.
Because they really have a short life. As soon as you take them out of the water, you're talking like 3 days. You know?
And you've got to eat them within that time, right?
They're called chamkomak. And they're even better. These are awesome, but they're even better.
How are they different?
Well, the outside of the shell looks more like a stone. It doesn't have these ridges or the little hairs on it. And
similar size?
I think they grow slower. Similar size. I think they grow slower, so they're plumper in size. In the meat inside, a little bit more iron rich.
Yeah.
They're really good too. But these are awesome, right?
These are delicious, just as a little snack by themselves. Like we said, with nothing but a little bit of salt in boiling water. Yeah. Blood cockles, are they common around the world?
I have to think, because I've seen the blood clams, on the opposite side of the planet.
Sure.
So I have to imagine so.
Yeah, because I've never heard the term blood cockle. So I know cockles, you can get them in the UK, and usually the way you have them is on the seaside. There's like a truck, a food truck kind of thing.
Warm the cockles.
Warm the cockles of your heart, indeed. Yeah. And people like to have it in the UK, like soaked in brine. That's how they like a lot of their shellfish. And the winkles as well, or periwinkles, they'll have that way. And you pick them out with a little toothpick on the beach. And especially the older generation, my grandparents' generation, used to love going to the seaside with a tub of those and just munching on them. Kids these days are a little bit more fussy and don't seem to go for them as much. But then that's a very simple way. But there are two other dishes here, Ryan. Are these Korean ways to prepare these blood cockles?
Absolutely, and they're really similar. But this style is still on the half shell, and then you put a little bit of the yum yum on top of each one. And this is a really common way. If you go to like a nice older style street market in Korea, you might find this wrapped up, ready to be taken home, and it's only a few bucks.
Really? Is it that cheap? Like that. So what is the yangnyeom? What is the sauce on here, Ryan?
I'm so glad you asked.
I am
It's this one I'm really happy with.
Smells a bit like samjang. A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Had some chef friends come over last night and we did this together and it was so much fun.
Wow.
To build this together. Garlic. I get my mortar and pestle, the great big stone thing, and mash up the garlic. Then the other ingredients are red pepper flakes, of course, for the red color and the spiciness.
It looks good.
Go ahead.
I'm going to try it while you explain.
Cool. Definitely toasted sesame oil is very important. The chamgiram. Let's see. You can see the little sesame seeds there as well. Chokpa, or like scallions chopped up. Let's see. You need a little bit of a sweet or sourness, so we use mayshil here, or the plum extract. Yeah. But we didn't have to add any other sweetener here, like honey. But usually you might add some honey or some kind of syrup to it.
No, that tastes delicious.
It doesn't need anything else, right?
Seriously, the little bit of spice to it as well is a nice kick in there. If you're not too fond of maybe a fishy flavour. But it doesn't really have a fishy flavour either. It's just a bit salty.
There's a little soy sauce in there.
The meatiness, how plump it is. It's got such a wonderful texture. And so you just put that sauce over literally the ones that you've boiled before like that. Is that all you do? You don't need to cook it in any sauce or anything like that. So that's perfect. So you could just prepare a big pot, I guess, of the blood cockles boiled, and then put some sauce on some, leave some plain, and up to your guests to eat it.
That's exactly what we did, and we almost ate a lot. I made quite a few, and we ended up eating almost all of them. These are very similar flavors.
Okay.
It's the same yum yum or the same seasoning.
Yeah.
But
what's the difference?
Well, this is like a muchim. You know, and I guess you wouldn't really call this a muchim. It's more...
it looks like a mini canapé or something.
Right, right. But this one's just, you know, we've taken the meat out of the shells.
Yeah.
And then mixed it with the
that
seasoning.
sauce.
Yeah, the same sauce.
So, you know, if I saw this in a restaurant as a side dish, I would be a little bit put off, you know, because, you know, I'm a bit fussy. I'd just see it and I'd be like, oh, I'm not sure about that. Even though if you just logically take these steps, I would definitely have the plain ones. Then the one with the sauce, I've just tried that. It's delicious. So I'm assuming the flavors are going to be maybe just a bit more rich in here. But let's give it a try.
A little stronger because they're totally coated.
Wow, yeah. Definitely, you get a lot more of the sauce flavor.
I kind of like this one more because you can taste the cockles by themselves.
I think I agree with you too, yeah. Because that's covered in sauce. It's a little bit maybe overpowering, taking away from the actual shellfish flavor, which is amazing because, like you said, these are in season right now through until March, yeah?
Right.
How much do these cost then at the market? Not too expensive at the moment.
It's about $10 a kilo.
$10 a kilo. Oh, wow. That's not too bad at all, is it?
It's not, but, you know, always when you're dealing with shellfish, you'll have a few that don't open, and you got to just toss those out.
Don't try and be greedy, right? Don't try and force them open.
Never, never, never.
So when they bolt...
throw them out, too.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's a good tip as well. What are those bottles of sauce that you have also brought with you, Ryan?
Oh, this is shameless self-promotion, buddy.
Okay, you can do it, absolutely. You've earned the right to.
I don't have my labels yet, but... we've got 1,000 bottles of hot sauce from the farm.
Wow, that you created.
Yeah, it's organic. It's
You didn't use any of that on these cockles this time, right?
No, I didn't. I actually brought these to share with folks here in the studio.
I guess you could like dip the plain cockles in that sauce, right? Wouldn't be bad. It looks like a challenge, doesn't it? I definitely want to try that. What are the different colors there, Ryan? Different peppers?
Different ferments. These are a lot like making kimchi. These are fermented for sometimes months.
Wow.
And
just depending on how long you've fermented them.
Well, that one's pretty hot.
Really?
And different peppers.
If you say that, then that's incredibly spicy, isn't it?
Oh, I love this stuff, though.
All right, we're going to take a song break. We'll talk a little bit more about cockles. Let us know if you enjoy cockles or anything similar in your country and how you prepare them. And I'm going to try one of these hot sauce ones in the break as well, because I may well end up crying and have to leave the studio. This is Hyungsop and Uyeong with It Will Be Good 좋겠다. We're back for part 2 of Yes Chef with Ryan in the studio talking all about blood cockles or 꼬막 today. And I've got to say, your hot sauce, Ryan, is delicious. A nice kick, but amazing.
It's not just mine. There's a team of us that are, you know, growing all these peppers and making these sauces and fermenting them.
So good.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Brilliant. And with the plain cockles, that's great. You know, if you just are sick of maybe eating 3 or 4 of the plain ones, then dip it in the hot sauce. Really, really delicious. If you want to buy these bottles of sauce, just get in touch with Ryan online, right? And
that's
you'll be
right.
able to buy them as well.
We're going to set up the kind of marketing stuff here really soon. As soon as I get my labels done, we're going to call it 한줄기.
What 줄기?
한줄기.
한줄기. What does that mean?
Well, it's kind of a funny story. When we started our farm, a lot of older gentlemen would wander up to us and see these foreigners farming in Korea next to their farms.
Sure.
You know? And they were like, "You're doing that wrong.
Really?
You're doing that wrong."
Okay.
And, well, they're just, you know, trying to share their knowledge with us.
The traditional Korean ways, perhaps.
And quite a few of them would always say, 한줄기.
What does that mean?
I mean, single stalk or one stem.
Oh, just do one thing.
Well, no. It means when you're letting a plant grow.
Yeah.
It'll want to branch out early on, and it'll separate into different stalks.
Yeah.
And you don't want that. With pepper plants, with tomato plants, with eggplants, you really want to have it go tall with a single stalk up to here and then split.
Okay.
And we didn't always have enough time. it keeps the fruit off the ground, which is how it could get a fungus easier or some other a parasite or something like that.
Wow, we're learning farming on Yes Chef. I like it.
I'm learning this stuff too, and we knew that, but we didn't always have time to prune properly. I mean, this is 520 pyong. It's like a little more than a half acre, I guess, or something like that. And 3 people trying to run it with some volunteers. It's kind of tough.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of bothering some of us. These guys, Hanjulgi, shouting at us. But became a funny inside joke, and that's what we're going to call the hot sauce.
That's a cool name, isn't it? Like one stem. I'm sure it's got other figurative meanings.
Exactly,
as well.
It does in Korean. Yeah.
A lot of messages coming in. Roz from the US says, it seems like it would take a lot of cockles to fill me up. But yay, your hot sauce. How exciting. Too bad I can't try it. Of course, considering the peppers you used, maybe it's pretty intense. Yeah, I've still got a tingle on my tongue. It lingers for sure, but it's nice. Siska asks, what is that sauce? Again, this is the one that Ryan has made by himself with his other friends, growing the peppers on the farm and then fermenting them yourself as well.
Right.
Is that quite an easy process or quite arduous for like the average person to do?
What I love about it is you never know exactly how it's going to come out. And,
really?
And so these are like done in batches, you know. We can't keep exact consistency, and that's how it should be. It's like wine, you know. Wine is different year to year, and doenjang, same kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
So that's how it should be.
I know customers these days, they want everything to be consistent, exactly the same every time, but that's not what real food is like, is it?
That's right. I mean, you can buy the store-bought sauces and stuff, and they're going to be consistent, but they've got like xanthan gum in there and a bunch of things that you don't even know what they are.
That you shouldn't be eating at all. Annie from Singapore says, are my eyes playing tricks on me? But Chef Ryan looks a little red, as if he's had a little bit of a hangover today. Oh, Annie is so good. Our listeners, you can't escape, Ryan. A little bit of wine last night with your chef friends while making this, right?
Right. We got together, and when people who love to cook get together and start cooking, then usually some wine comes out.
Of course.
Yeah, we might have had a few.
You're a chef after all. And he goes on to say, these blood cockles, they can be found here in Singapore. I really like them. When I was young, I liked to touch their shells to close them when they were at the wet market still alive. Are these the ones that you can find in the supermarket in the like cellophane bags that are still alive? The like plastic bags?
No, sir. In the supermarket, right? They'll be like on a little styrofoam thing and then covered with saran wrap.
Oh, and they're already dead, aren't they?
I never buy those. Yeah. They shouldn't be. They need to be alive when you buy them, or else they're not going to pop open well. The trick when you're shopping for these in the market is find one that's already a little bit open and then tap it.
And if it closes, then it's fresh.
That's all you got to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. They do sell some still alive in the supermarkets. I'm not sure what. I think they must be bigger. Maybe the clams.
Those are the cockles.
The cockles.
And there's a few other ones. Okay. Right. There's a few others that are in those bags like that.
Yeah. And then you'll put them in the fridge, and like you said, maybe put it in black plastic bag to make them spit out the sand and stuff like that.
Yeah. You always, when those are in sand, man, you really gotta give them the time. One friend taught me to put a little bit of flour in the water.
Oh,
and then they try to eat the flour, so then they're spitting out all the sand.
The sand instead.
And it seems to work pretty well.
Because that's the worst feeling, is it, when you bite and there's sand in a shellfish?
We were out camping on the beach once, and we found so many, digging through the sand. And we tried to, do it, but we didn't have flour, and we didn't have a dark space to put them in. And it was terrible.
Just munching on sand. It's the worst texture, isn't it, in the world? Siska from Indonesia says, oh, Peter, you should have worn your Arsenal shirt to match Chef Ryan's Brazil shirt today. Or maybe my England shirt, I should. Next time we'll coordinate, okay?
Edwin Rowe gave me this shirt.
Oh, former host of this time slot.
When he was leaving Korea, he passed this on to me.
That's lovely. Brazil actually knocked England out of the Korea World Cup in 2002. Ronaldinho scored, so I hate you guys, sorry.
Ronaldinho.
In Korea, cockle season is in winter. Here it seems there's no season because we can eat those cockles anytime we want in Indonesia, always available in the seafood market. I guess because you're closer to the equator. Like you said, in Mexico that's the case as well, where there isn't a cooler season.
Right.
But here in Korea they do say eat it in the colder ones. And the one you said, the blood cockles, is my favourite, but the Korean ones seem bigger than ours. Our blood cockles are tiny and a little bit more orange. We boil them and eat them with ginger chili, it's the best. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, like chili crab.
That sounds good, doesn't it? With a bit of ginger as well. Okay, so we've been talking all about the blood cockles today. The gomak, deliciously prepared by our chef Ryan. Every single week we upload these videos onto YouTube, so you can check it out by searching Arirang Radio Yes Chef or #DailyK. And if you're watching on YouTube right now, then please do keep up to date with your latest news and trends from Korea on #DailyK every single day from 9 to 11 a.m. KST. It is time now for Yes Chef Ryan, and we got a couple over there that was sent earlier today in preparation.
Yeah, this one's got Audrey's got some interesting stuff.
She's always really good. And Audrey, I think many weeks she'll cook what you suggest. I think last week as well.
Do you know, we were talking about French onion soup last week, right?
Yeah, didn't she cook it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you know that is the hangover soup in France?
Oh, really? French, the cream and how, like, really strong it is? I don't know, would that work?
After a wedding, apparently. Everybody gets served that
French onion
because
soup.
You're partying at the wedding, right?
Yeah. In a British wedding, you get bacon sandwiches at midnight.
Really?
That's like the hangover thing. Yeah,
that.
it's really good as well. It soaks up the alcohol. No, Audrey, I think, made the potato and leek soup, didn't she, that you suggested before? What's she got this week?
Let's see. French chestnut blood sausage. I really want to know how this tastes. It's chestnut season. They're everywhere. A friend was just making chestnut ice cream the other day. I
Is
really
it good?
Want to try it. I haven't tried it yet. But yeah, French chestnut blood sausage, chorizo. I'm guessing that's probably the Spanish style of chorizo. It's just drier than the Mexican kind.
Yeah.
Tofu, plain yogurt. Some other cheeses. Let's see. Eggs, onions, smoked garlic, rosemary, thyme, plenty of spices, lime, pomegranate, apples, kiwi, sweet peppers, endives, leeks, potatoes, and butternut squash.
That is a lot of stuff in your fridge. Thanks for the details. Surely there's so much you could do.
Oh yeah, this is awesome. I really, the butternut squash, if you cut it lengthwise, open it up, because it has that kind of funky shape to
like
it,
a light bulb almost,
right? And take out the seeds and stuff, and then if you took the French chestnut blood sausage, and you could use the tofu as well, onions, definitely, the smoked garlic, the spices, the herbs, even the apples would go really well in this too. But saute that, get it par cooked. The leeks, even the potato could go there, but then put it inside of that butternut squash.
The raw butternut squash.
Right. Put it inside of that. Rub the inside of it and the outside with oil first, and season it with salt. Then put that combination of the tofu and the chestnut blood sausage, and even apples and tofu would work really well as well. And definitely the thyme, a little bit of the rosemary, garlic, and onions. Soften up those onions. Put all of that inside of that.
Yeah.
And then roast that in the oven.
Close it again.
Close it back up and roast it in the oven.
Yeah.
And then you can slice it into circles, and it looks great on the plate with that stuffing inside.
Yeah, like a stuffed something. Yeah.
Yeah. And the flavors match so well with the squash.
Oh.
And I'm not exactly sure how this chestnut blood sausage would taste, but
yeah, I've got a picture of it.
Probably.
It doesn't look anything like the blood sausage we have in the UK, which is known as black pudding.
Right.
But apparently the title in English is sometimes known as black pudding as well. Sounds very interesting, doesn't it?
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, that would be like similar to what we were talking about just a couple of weeks back for Halloween, the stuffed pumpkins that we have here in Korea. Not that we slice them into circles, we just kind of open the lid and eat it as a bowl almost.
Right,
that'd be cool.
Right.
I'd love to see that, Audrey.
That would be really cool, yeah. I really want to try that sausage. Yeah.
Give it a try, Audrey, and let us know. We got another one from Roz in the US.
Yeah, Roz has got cranberries, pomegranate, walnuts, Brussels sprouts, button mushrooms, green onions, canned pumpkin. Canned pumpkin?
I've never seen canned pumpkin.
I'm going to send you a pumpkin. Let's see. Sweet basil, lemon basil, cinnamon basil, pineapple sage, rosemary, seaweed powder.
Seaweed powder?
Yeah,
wow.
A variety of rices, heavy cream, and your choice of protein. Lots of different. Okay, she's got. Wow.
Even a turkey if
She's
needed.
got rabbit.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I love rabbit. Okay. My goodness, which direction do we want to go here?
We got Thanksgiving coming up not too far away, right?
Right. Have you ever had pineapple sage?
No. What is pineapple sage? A type of herb?
Right.
Does it taste pineapple-y?
It's like a really sweet, fruity sage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. When you say Thanksgiving, it makes me think of sage. We just harvested tons of sage. I've got it hanging up in the kitchen right now. The house smells amazing. Let's see. If we did... You've got all these different kinds of rices, and you've got the cream.
Like a risotto?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be nice. A creamy risotto.
Yeah, and... Oh, man, let's see. The mushrooms, that works so well.
Oh, yeah. Mushroom risotto is delicious.
Yeah. But all these interesting kinds of basil, too. Cinnamon basil is also known as Mexican basil, and it's really cool.
Does it taste cinnamony?
Absolutely. It's really, really... But it's kind of hard to grow. Let's see. I'm all over the map here, aren't I? I would have to say, let's take the rabbit. I think rabbit is really an awesome protein because it's so low in fat compared to like pork, but it tastes a little bit like pork.
Okay.
It's like if you could go right in the middle between pork and chicken.
Okay.
That's where rabbit is.
That doesn't sound bad at all.
And a lot of people around the world enjoy it, and then a lot of other people think that we're terrible folks for eating. Yeah, exactly. But rabbit goes so well with like these fall ingredients. So like the walnuts, the cranberries, the mushrooms, onion, pumpkin, maybe not canned pumpkin, but pumpkin. Here in Korea, rabbit's put into stews. You don't see them that often, but they're really, really good.
Oh, really?
Kind of like kamjatang, but with rabbit.
Oh, seriously? With little rabbit bones. Nice.
Yeah. I would take your herbs and some of those fall ingredients and roast the rabbit with that.
Oh.
And then wild rice to serve with it would be just amazing. Yeah.
Just on the side, not as a risotto,
right?
Just as a plain dish. That sounds interesting. I've never had rabbit in my entire life. Something that's on my to-eat list. I'm quite a meat eater, but I'm not sure.
Well, let's bring you in some rabbit one day.
Is it possible to get in Korea?
Yeah, I know a rabbit farmer. He's a friend of mine.
Okie dokie, bring it on.
I'll bring
rabbit
you some
next
rabbit
week.
kidneys.
Kidneys? No, thank you, Ryan. Thank you so much, though, for bringing in the blood cockles. That has blown my mind, and your hot sauce as well. Delicioso. We'll see you again next week, Ryan.
Awesome, man.
Time for some secret. This one's Madonna.